look, Claire.
Drop it! Jump!
Hi, welcome to another Birdbox Podcast. Merry Christmas to all of you and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, hope you all had a great time.
Yeah, it's been very special this Christmas to get together with family.
Yeah.
And hope you've all been able to just have some really precious time together.
Yeah, I think I prefer the bit between Christmas and New Year because we just don't do very much. You just get to chill out, don't you?
Yeah, it's
You
been very
want
quiet.
to hunker down and snuggle up.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, what we thought we'd do today is we'll just tell you briefly about what we've been up to in the last couple of weeks since the last podcast. Then Claire's going to go through some of your makes.
Yeah.
After that, we've
Not too many, don't get excited.
No, and then we've got so we're going to give you some ideas and inspiration again for some nice projects that are out there, and tell you about some things that we've got coming up as well. So, how was your Christmas anyway?
Oh yeah, my Christmas was lovely. It was a bit frantic leading up because we have our son's birthday the week before. And then I always feel like, I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, but you get to a point where you panic that you haven't got enough, but you're worried that you spent too much. And yeah, you get to a point where you go, well, if I haven't got it, we can't have it. And I must admit, I do stress a little bit leading up to hosting Christmas.
Well, you spent a lot of time preparing food and things like that as well, didn't you?
Yeah. And we had to move lots of things around to fit everybody in, but it was lovely. It was really lovely. The room looked beautiful, and
it was quite interesting actually working from home. And really the first year that we changed things around in the home and then had to
move it all
pack
again.
everything away. So all the yarn has been packed away.
Yeah.
The shop, although it was open over Christmas and the New Year, you know, we're not sending things out until the New Year because all the yarn's packed away. Actually.
Yeah.
Just to make space for Christmas.
I think that's the trouble. You pack everything away and then you spend ages having to find where it all is again and get the room back how it was so you can carry on working. But we had a lovely time.
You mentioned Dan's birthday, and that was a really special way of starting, I think.
Yeah.
So in the week before Christmas, we went into Bristol. I'm glad you mentioned that because we went to see Grayson Perry's Art Club exhibition, which is on in Bristol Museum. And it was brilliant.
Yeah, it was
really enjoyed
good.
it.
Yeah, it was lovely.
It kind of takes you on a trail all the way around the museum. And for any of you that would have watched the series Art Club, you'll know that arts and crafts and making has been so good for everyone's mental health throughout the last couple of years that worldwide we've been dealing with this pandemic. So it was really inspirational to see what people had come up with and
people's way of getting through lockdown as well and their kind of interpretation. Yeah, very good. Really lovely artwork from ordinary people. It was good. Enjoyed that.
Yeah. And went out for a meal after that.
You went out for vegan pizza,
which was great.
It was really nice. Yeah, it's really nice. We're not vegan. Our son is.
It did inspire us actually or inspired me anyway, to come back and get the paintbrushes out again. So I thoroughly enjoyed taking a few hours off between then and Christmas Day to actually just sit and paint. I did paint somewhere because you've got Claire's makes. We haven't got John's makes because I don't do anything. I don't make anything.
You do spend a lot of time dyeing yarn.
I do. So that was the piece of artwork that I did. It's a bit weird and random, but based on the ideas that we saw in the exhibition, I just thought, what would I come up with as something that represents what it's been like being a small business throughout 2021. And for the UK, we've really been hit hard with a small business with. Difficulties selling to Europe and things with Brexit and trying to be ethical and thinking about climate change as well and everything. So that painting is actually a bit of a representation of when it's felt like sometimes being a bit under siege.
Yeah. Yes, it has.
But Christmas happened and it was pretty lovely.
Yeah, it was lovely.
You did a great job.
Wow. Yeah.
And the house looked beautiful, didn't it?
It did,
in the end.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed decorating. It was nice.
Yeah, fun and games with the family.
Yeah.
Always gets a bit silly. Especially when my dad's here.
Oh gosh, if you haven't seen it, just have a look back through for the video on one of the Instagram posts of my father-in-law trying to play charades. That was really good.
Oh, and the rest.
Yeah.
We won't go there.
No. So Christmas was lovely.
Christmas was
really
lovely.
Really enjoyed having people over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now it's been a bit quieter this week,
Yeah.
but we've been trying to get out and walk in all weathers.
Yeah. We were set a bit of a challenge. Well, I felt like it was a challenge when we lost Stella, and I don't know if anybody else finds this when you lose your pet. Other people just go, "Are we getting another one?" And we're not in that place.
No.
But this lady said, you won't go out and walk like you did. You won't get out every day. You'll look at the weather and you'll think, oh, it's a bit grim. I'm not going out. So I kind of saw that as a bit of a challenge and decided that I needed to go out for a walk every day.
So new boots.
Yeah, we've got new boots, waterproofs. And
we've been out in all weathers.
We've been trying to go out walking and we have most days.
Yeah.
The thing is, Stella slowed down a lot towards the end, so I used to walk about 4 miles a day, but I haven't actually done that for a couple of years now, so we need to build back up to that again.
Yeah.
So yes, we've been out, and hence the frizzy hair today. Got slightly damp this morning.
I don't have that problem, really, no.
God, the weather here was horrific this morning. But yeah, it's fine, it's good. We got out, we feel good. And you can eat mince pies without feeling good.
I need to walk a bit more.
You come home and you just
off
says,
a few more mince pies.
Mince pie.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's not good.
So when we have been around, what have you been up to then? We ought to make this your Clare's Mix section, I think.
Mix.
Very good.
So,
are you going to sing every time we do that?
Well, you're not going to do the fancy title every time, are you?
No.
So I've shown these before. They're called the Ticklish Socks, and they are by the Knitting Shed. Nicola and Louise designed these. It's a DK weight, so it's 4-ply held double with the Suri Alpaca. This is in the Stella Bella colourway, and I've made these for our daughter-in-law. So I don't know whether she wears hand knitted socks. I do make them for her, but I think she probably prefers bed socks. So I've made these, and she loved Stella, so I thought I would make her some yarn.
Yeah.
In these, and they are so soft. It's a lovely pattern. So it's on Ravelry, the Ticklish Sock, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. She's got tiny feet, thankfully. These are child's sock blockers.
It's not quite, doesn't take you quite as long as when you make me a pair of socks, does it?
No, not really. No. But yeah, I enjoyed those, and obviously a thicker weight yarn, it goes quicker as well. Okay. So that's that. I did then decide I ought to make Wesley a pair of socks because he's our son, and I've made his wife a pair of socks. And so I had a tube that I'd cranked in such times, and I thought, this is lovely, he'll like that.
It does look lovely.
I only managed one, so I think this is a Scuba toe or something like that, and I'm not sure what that is. On the heel, something, I don't know whether it's Long Meadow.
That is Long Meadow or Dancing in the Dark. Yeah.
Could be Dancing in the Dark. Yeah. So he had one sock. I did tell him on Christmas Day, but that he had a night home. So
he will get his other sock.
He will get his other sock.
But for now, he's just got a hop, I think.
Yeah. I think, he might get him for his birthday.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still find knitting with small needles quite difficult. It does make my arm really sore. So I'm just doing bits when I can, so I'm not rushing anything. So yeah, that was that. And then on Beck's vlog, she showed that she'd made this headband, and I thought it was really, really nice. And
That's lovely.
Thought about making it. And so I had some Drops Air, and it's like a tube construction with mohair and alpaca, I think. I'm not sure. Inside. And it's really, really, really soft. And it's this lovely English rib, I believe it's called. It's very simple, very rhythmic. It's a nice little headband.
You've already enjoyed wearing that out a few times, haven't you?
Yeah. So that's been nice. So that was nice and easy. Took a couple of days. I love the construction when you sew it together. It's really interesting. So yeah. Now I've got to remember. I think it's just the twisted headband, and I can't even remember who.
Well, we'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll put some show notes up. But yeah, I enjoyed that. That was good. And so I had some yarn left over, and I have some of the Kindling Mittens by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade.
Oh, you wear those all the time.
I do, yeah. That was from one of the Knit Vent. I believe it was Knit Vent 2018, but I'm not entirely sure. and I made them out of blacker yarn, and so they're quite rustic and they're tweedy and they're lovely. But I really enjoy that pattern, and actually mine started to fall apart, and I was going to just make myself a new pair like you do, and then I thought, no, I'm going to repair them. So I did repair them, but then I decided that with the leftovers from the green I'd like to make some more. So I still have the thumb to go. There's no thumb on it, and these got a lovely cable pattern, nice and simple, nice and easy. And that, literally, I made that yesterday. Cast it on.
Yeah, it was flying off your needles, wasn't it?
Yeah, I even did some car knitting, which I haven't done in about 2 years. Cause, yeah, my arm just hurts too much. So that is a really nice pattern. Yeah, Curious Handmade, Helen Stewart on Ravelry, and the Kindling Mittens. So yeah, I just need to make the other one and put them on. But that was in Drops Air, and it's really soft.
You might have the other one by the next time we do a podcast.
I might. Well, I hope
That'd be
to.
good.
Yeah, I do hope to.
2 weeks, you've got a few days. But then you've got another project you're working on, haven't you, really?
I know, I'm trying to master my circular sock machine.
Yeah.
And it's not gone so well today.
There's been a bit of frustration today. Trying to try out some new techniques, haven't you?
Yeah, and it's very difficult when you don't really know how to remedy it. So it's just a case of starting again and hoping for the best. We need Nick and Kelly to come down and visit us.
Yeah, you need a tutorial.
He can help me.
We'll get there again.
Help Nick. Yeah, no, it'd be good.
It's just about trying something new, isn't it? Because you're fine with doing your sock tubes, but
yeah,
this is wanting to do
well,
something
you've
else
got to
with
get
it as
tension
well.
right. You've got to make sure things are lined up properly. You've got to have. Oh yeah, I won't go into it. So
it's a long story. So
and I'm not great at reading instructions. I have booklets in front of me, and I'm not great at reading instructions. And there are so many tutorials on YouTube, and they're so different. It's really hard to know. Yeah, I get a little bit overwhelmed. But I will get there.
Yeah.
But I want to do a drop 10 first. That's what I'm going to do in the next couple of days. Yeah.
That's a project then.
And I've got a couple more, I believe.
God, I thought that was everything you'd made.
Well, no, I don't. Actually, I don't know if I've shown this. I think I might.
You did, yeah.
And I haven't worked on it anymore, so I won't bother.
Okay.
So, well, the next one then leads me into.
Well, those are your.
The advent, really. So,
yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. Should I show it now, or
Yeah,
should I
yeah.
wait?
No, that's great.
So yeah, I think I've shown the advent pattern before on here. This is the black and white version, and so obviously I wanted to try and keep up. I thought, oh, there goes my phone. I wanted to keep up with our own advent, but my arm was too sore and I just couldn't do it. So I've done another section. So these are all the teal blues so far, and I'm about to go into the next colour.
Yeah.
So
Well, what we'll do is I will put a colour photo up there now, because it's been great that finally Hannah's been able to release the colour pictures of what's called the My True Love shawl, which she designed. My True Love wrap, which she designed for our advents, and it looks fantastic.
And you stripe it.
We'll put a picture in here
with the Suri alpaca and the 4-ply. So you pick it up, drop it, pick it up, drop it as you're knitting it. Then you've got rows of lace that go through each section, representing a gift from my true love. It's lovely, it's soft, stripey.
And that's using the 16 skeins?
Yeah, 16 skeins plus 4 Suri alpaca, or some had mohair.
Yeah.
And we had some nice gifts as well in the box. So there's 20 skeins of yarn, and then we had 5 gold rings that Bex made. And we had some lovely pink champagne truffles.
And a Christmas decoration
and a Christmas decoration of geese are laying. And it was a Port Merion ceramic geese are laying from Sarah Miller,
really nice.
London. And they're really, really nice. So yeah, we had 4 gifts too. So we had good feedback, haven't we?
It was lovely, yeah. We always enjoy seeing what you're making with our yarn, but hearing the feedback from the advent as well has been great.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So it's already got us thinking about next year's.
Yeah. So I was just
that is actually something else I've done in the time off, is I have mapped out and planned all the colours for next year's advent. So
can't wait. We go from the teals into the yellows, so it goes from Dark, it goes from dark to light. I can't remember now which way around it goes.
Yeah.
Goes from the yellow, so that then the last yellow's got a bit of pink on it. And so
there's always one colour in each that leads you
that
into
goes
the
into
next
the
one.
pinks, and then the pink, this last pink had some blue in it, and that went into the blues, and then you have the corresponding Suri alpaca. So then I've still got all that to go.
Well, you might get it finished by next Christmas.
Yeah,
you never know.
That's fine. I can wear it next Christmas and start on the other one. We don't know how we're going to do it next year, but
well, I've got some ideas already.
It was very different last year.
Yeah.
I know lots of yarn advent calendars have quite vastly different colours all the way through, and that's what we did last year. So we wanted to do something really different this year that maybe others haven't come up with.
Well, something that clearly had that kind of fade going through for each of the different blocks of colour.
It's really tough though when you're doing that, and obviously there are a lot of yarn advent calendars out there every year, an awful lot, and people do them really differently, so coming up with something really new is very, very hard. And you take a risk. And so I feel like it was a success. Yeah,
some good feedback, which is good.
Yes.
Well, we've kind of mentioned this a little bit already, but so we have taken some time off over Christmas. It's been lovely actually, having some time to just spend together and not have to be dyeing wool all the time. So the shop has stayed open, and I'm sure you've probably picked up on this, but we have run a discount just to say thank you for all the support throughout 2021. It really is appreciated.
Yeah.
So if you've missed that post at all, everything in the shop at the moment, apart from the sign up for the next yarn club, has a discount of 15% if you use the code with a bang, taken from the Out With A Bang colourways that we came up with before.
Yeah.
So use that code, and there's still plenty in the shop that you can browse over the next few days.
Including magazines.
That's it. And this runs right the way through until the 3rd of January. So the 3rd of January is a key day for us because that's when the discount code will finish, and also when the sign up for next year's yarn club needs to be complete, because I should be dyeing up all of the yarn clubs then, ready to send them out.
Next month's yarn club, don't confuse people by saying next year's, because you don't have to sign up to a year, you can sign up month on month.
Month at a time, yeah.
Don't want to confuse everybody.
No. So we showed that one last time. We're not going to show it again now because we don't want it to be a spoiler for those of you that choose to enter the yarn club and have it as a mystery. You can have a look back. If you look at the post that I put up again this week, you'll see that there is a warning when there's a spoiler alert. So don't swipe beyond the spoiler alert if you want it to come as a mystery. And if you'd rather see what's coming up in the January Yarn Club, do swipe. I think you'll enjoy it because this time it's based on Club Tropicana.
Yeah.
That was one of the top 3.
It was
chosen.
Yeah.
And also do look out for the next post, because within the next couple of weeks we'll be putting up our next top 10 for the Birdstreet mixtape going into February, which is our 1980s love songs.
Love songs, yeah.
So look out for that
Should
one.
be fun.
We want you all to vote for it again as to which ones are your best, and then we'll choose one of the top 3 to be the inspiration to dye up the February yarn. Okay?
Yeah.
I think that's probably about it for what's been special about going into the shop. So the next thing is really about ideas and inspiration.
Yeah, okay. I was just going to show some Christmas presents, but we're not doing
that.
Okay,
that's fine, do it. Yeah.
Well, it's not really Christmas presents. I was just going to show, because I do a swap with Kelly. So I was just going to show my other advent calendar that I got, because it's so lovely. Now Kelly's and Nick's all came in these paper bags, and I'm going to make, next Christmas I'm going to make a paper star. I'm not going to throw them away. I'm going to recycle them. So they've done the Rainbow Chronicles all year long, and their advent calendar was on a rainbow theme, and I just think that looks so beautiful. So I've really enjoyed that, opening that every day. I really look forward to that. So thanks, Kelly and Nick.
There you go.
Right. So
and you actually had interpretations, but
yes, he actually gave me one of these as well. So I'm looking forward to knitting some things out of here.
So all of those patterns that we were telling you about from Interpretations 8, Claire
I like that one.
is now inspired to have a go at knitting some of those herself as well.
I wish I had the patience to knit a long cardigan. I think that's lovely.
It's lovely.
Yeah, I love that.
Now there is actually one pattern in there that we didn't talk about at all last time, and I think with some of the yarns we've got to tell you about coming in January, we really do want to give you some ideas for it, because it's
trying to show a bit without the pattern.
Yeah, that's it. So it's on page 72.
There we go.
So this one here is the Virginia tank top, and it's beautiful.
Lovely.
And it would just work so well with any of the speckled yarns.
It would.
So, for example, there's a couple there in the shop at the moment that might work really well with that. So you've got peach and a kind of almost rose-coloured pinks.
Yeah.
Is one of the colour that is predicted to be sort of in vogue for spring and summer 2022, and there's quite a few of the peach and pinky coloured yarns that we've got in the shop at the moment and coming up in January. So that's Bellini, and then this one here is Cafe au Lait. Now we thoroughly enjoyed our garden throughout 2021, and we've re-landscaped it all, and we're ready to really get going with the planting again in the spring. So Cafe au Lait was one of your favourite dahlias, wasn't it?
It was.
This time round. So those two are examples that might work really well with the Virginia tank top. I'm going to show you some other speckled yarns towards the end of this podcast, and again, any of those would work really well with that. Yeah. Now the other thing is, so that's the only one to pick up on from there. Do you want to talk about Hannah's?
Yeah.
That's the next one.
So yeah, this is so our lovely friend Hannah that designed our Advent pattern as well. She's a prolific designer, and she designs all sorts of things, and she's used our yarns a lot in her design. So this is the fractal sweater. It's really lovely. Actually. I keep meaning to wear it, and I don't actually.
I think it look great in those colours in the spring, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm going to wear it in the spring, Hannah, if that's okay. I'll wear it at a show or something. But yeah, it's really, really lovely.
Well, one of the nice things about this pattern as well is obviously it's, you could mix up how many of the colours you're using.
Oh, yeah.
So do you want to show the colours that were used by Hannah in this one? So you've got, yeah, that's those four, yeah. So the main colour which is going in between here, the dark grey is slate. I don't know if you can see that one. And then the pastel colours that we've got here, depending on the size that you would need, some of them you would be able to get away with a 50-gram skein, and others you'd need a 100-gram skein. Or obviously if you had more of the colours, then you would get away with 50s.
Yeah. You might be able to buy 1.5 kind of thing as well. So yeah, candy, Lido, chiffon and Go Lightly. Yeah,
so those are the four.
Yeah.
Those are in the shop at the moment as 50s, and they're also on as 100s as well. So you can find those under the 4-ply tonal section.
And that's Yarnia Designs on Ravelry.
And again, I'll put the link in the show notes for that.
Or you could do it with
well.
any colours. You know, if pastels aren't your thing, you could do it with any. But it's really, really nice. I like it.
It's lovely.
Yeah, it's really, really lovely.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Hannah's fractal sweater. Now, when we put out the last sets of minis, so the Out With A Bang, I love the fact that a friend of ours, Laura, who's been coming along to Flock, spoke about there's a Stephen West shawl that she's made using the Berry Autumnal minis. Yeah. It looks amazing. Yeah. But she's going to make another version of that using the Out With A Bang minis. So I haven't got the Out With A Bang minis because we were sold out of those. I'm sure we'll do them again. Yeah, it's just that really maybe not just at New Year, you know. Yeah. So if you want us to do them again, DM us, and obviously I'll see what I can do. But what she's going to do is a Stephen West one, which is called the Canal Ring Shawl, and it's designed for using in the original pattern 3 colours. And if you use 3 colours, then each of them is about 137 metres. But she used, I think it was 6 from the Berry Autumnal minis, and obviously was half of that. She's going to use the 6 colours that there were within the Out With A Bang. But I also think that the same design could work really well with these, which are the Medici minis. Yeah. Now there's 5 in that set, so obviously you'd need to look at repeating them. But the Canal Ring Shawl by Stephen West, with a light grey or something like that, going with it, I think would work really well. Yeah. So you could go with Pebble or with Shale, which is slightly darker. There's not much difference between these two. No. Okay. So that could work really well. And also, because somebody contacted us and asked us about when we were doing the Berry Autumnal Minis again, and I don't normally plan to repeat those until we come towards the end of summer. We have brought a lot of the colours back out again as singles, so you could very much mix and match and put any of these together. Okay,
they'll be under all the single minis in the shop.
So you got
lots of different ones
there. A lovely range of sort of jewel tones and browns, and you got some of the new colourways like Medici and Middleton are in the shop as well now as singles. So under all the single minis, and you'll find any of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed.
And the reason actually why somebody was asking us about all the Berry Autumnal minis was because of their plan to do a 6 Wives shawl.
Yeah.
So that's another pattern worth looking at.
That's by Emma Potter.
Yeah.
On Ravelry. Potter and Bloom. Yes.
So that's those two. When we mentioned about Stephen West just now, I also noticed this week he put up a lovely post that was about 3 of his shawls, which were all DK weight. And you could mix and match the pattern really, because they were all designed using 4 DK tonals that would work as some kind of a fade. So if you were inspired by that, a couple of ideas for you would be, first of all, to use any of these browns. So I've got 5 of the browns here. Now the shawls he was sharing this week was looking back at the Pierre shawl, the Crosswalk shawl, and the, I've got to get this right, Chevrolelogram, I think is the right way of pronouncing it.
You said that.
So you've got 5 colours there. You'd only need 4 of them for any of those shawls, but you could mix and match to make any of those work as you fade.
Number 7, Pecan, Medici, Jasper and Beeswax. Yeah, they all work together, so you could any combo of 4.
And
They're really nice.
If browns was not your thing and you prefer to go with the pinks, then some of the new pinks that we've put in, if you started with those 3, so you've got Middleton going through into shell and then into shrimp, and I think it would work really well if you put in almost a bit of an accent to the fade, your Beaujolais as well. So maybe it should go that way around, a Beaujolais going through the pinks.
Yeah.
Like that.
That'd be nice.
Okay?
Yeah.
Good. And I think that's about it for our inspirational ideas for this week.
Yeah.
So after, not too many for this week, but again, the invitation is out there. If you're a designer and you've come up with a pattern or something that you'd like us to try and match some yarn to and to give people ideas about how they could use it with your pattern, then do get in touch with us, because we'd love to feature different people all the time. Okay?
Yeah. And also we spoke about if there's a pattern that you've really enjoyed knitting.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do a little review or tell us a little bit about a pattern that you've enjoyed knitting, we could always put it in our newsletter or on our website and give other people inspiration too. So we're always looking for that. I mean, there's so many great designers out there, so many beautiful patterns. If you've actually knitted it and loved it, then let us know. And good.
It'd be a good feature to go in the
you
newsletter.
could write a little piece for us.
Yeah.
And, we could put it in our newsletter just to give some inspiration.
Yeah. Okay, and so the last thing I think for us is to tell you a bit about what's coming up. So hopefully you're all looking forward to New Year in just a couple of days' time. But in January, we're going to be launching some new yarns. So we've shared with you these already. And based on those colourways of Boathouse, Pecan was a one we've had for some time, so is Beeswax, but then there's been Middleton and Medici. I've actually come up with a whole new range of variegated colourways, and they all tend to work together, but there's quite a lot of them.
Yeah, there are a lot of them.
So we're going to just show you some of them as one go. So if you went down the kind of the duck egg or light teal, very pale muted teal colours, going with the, what colour would you call Medici? Would you call it a brown or a red? We discussed this, don't we?
Red.
So I'd go it's a reddy brown.
Like a maroon type. Reddy brown.
Okay. So these together should make a really lovely fade as well. So you've got Sea Shanty.
This one is Sea Shanty.
So that starts off with sort of patches of the Medici colourway coming through with the blue.
And then you've got some gold and some brighter blue.
And then it goes really nicely actually into probably this one next, I think, which is called Shiver Me Timbers. So going with a kind of
it's a lovely
sea
blue.
theme.
Lovely
so those
speckles of blue, and there's some brown and some red and some darker blue, and they look lovely together.
Yeah. those go really well with an existing colourway, which is Urban Decay as well.
So
if we
you've
put
still
those
got
in
those
together,
colours, but much lighter.
that.
It's very soft colour, but it's got really, it's quite complex colours on there. I love it. Golds and browns.
I think you're going to have to do a sock tube with that one because it does look lovely.
It is lovely. Really, really nice. There's that one.
And then the palest one of all would be this one here.
Which is Walk the Plank.
So it's just got speckles of the blues and the browns that we've used in the other colours. Okay. And that lead takes you into Boathouse, which is the blue that
blue,
all of the others are sort of based on. Okay.
Work together really nicely.
So that's the blues with the browns. So that's kind of the Boathouse with Medici combined together. And then we've got this set of colours here. So this starts with beeswax going into Bloomin' Lovely. Try and hold those two together like that. And then from there it goes into First Dance. Now First Dance is the name of what kind of plant?
It's a
hellebore. Because we've just loved, again, we did try and plant up some winter plants that would give us some colour throughout the winter, and we've loved the hellebores.
Yeah, it's got some gold on there and some reds and some burgundy, and they all look really nice together.
And of course you could mix in with that
Medici
again, or you could actually start picking up this colour as well, which is your Middleton.
Middleton is your pink, your very soft pink.
So all of those will work together.
Really nicely together. But I guess you could go like the other way. So if you've got Medici,
yeah,
you just put it down on the floor.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
But you kind of then you can start introducing the blues as well. So you could have any of them really. We did lay them all out in a 15 long fade the other day.
Yeah. It does work.
An incredible.
I'll try and do that at some point. I will photograph them all together as one really long fade and show you. Because then coming off of picking up the soft pink that was in Middleton, it takes us into some of the other pinks like we see within Shell. So we've got Cinnamon Snow,
which is another hellebore,
which is lovely and sort of lightly speckled, and then it takes us into Serenity, which again is another plant. I'm not sure if it's a hellebore or not. I can't remember now. Actually. Going into Snapdragon. You haven't got enough hands now. And then that takes us into the tonal of Shell. Okay.
So they all look lovely
so
together.
You can imagine all those together.
It works really
and we could even put shrimp on the end.
There you go.
Okay, so you can see what we mean about all of these from the one colour palette should go really well together.
So there's loads of new ones there for you.
And
enjoy.
There's one other colour,
Oh,
which in doing this,
my favourite.
we came up with this one, which is called Figgy. Now this is the one I said I would share with you this time round. It's a lovely sort of deep aubergine type colour. And to link that back with the pinks, we come up with this one, which is called Aubergine. Okay, and that one then obviously links back through to the colours that we've just shared with you.
There you go.
So I'm sure, I don't think anyone's going to want a fade of about 15 different skeins, but it does mean that with this colourway, this colour palette, you could pretty much pick and choose with any of them. Okay.
It did look fabulous. If you've got, we'll take a picture of one long fade and put it somewhere on Instagram or something.
We will do, yeah.
On the interior,
So they've excited about that. I've really enjoyed dyeing up a whole new colour palette there.
You did all of those in 1 week.
Yeah.
Week before last.
Yeah.
Came up with a whole new collection, so that was quite cool. I have to see which ones we retire for a little while, but
yeah. Some of the ones that we've been dyeing up for some time, they're going to just be rested for a while, and we are going to go with some of the newer colourways as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think that's probably about us for now.
Yeah, I reckon we did well there.
So, hope you've enjoyed listening to us, finding out about what we've been up to in Christmas and what's coming up as well in the new year.
Yeah.
Hopefully, in 2 weeks' time, we'll be back with another podcast for you. And have a fantastic new year. Stay safe, look after each other.
Don't hang around with too many people.
That's it. Yeah.
We're going to have a quiet evening tonight.
We are.
Yeah. Fun. Happy New Year.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.